In the spring of 1910, Halley's Comet blazed across the sky, mesmerizing the world. Newspapers stoked both wonder and fear, claiming its tail carried poisonous gases that could smother the earth. But in a remote farming town in Kansas, something far more sinister arrived under the comet's glow, something not from the heavens, but from another world. The town of Meadowridge was a quiet, self-sufficient community. Its residents lived simple lives, untouched by the industrialization sweeping the country. But shortly after the comet first appeared, the town's livestock began vanishing. Cows, pigs, and even chickens disappeared overnight, leaving no signs of struggle or tracks. The fields were silent, and the air carried an unnatural stillness. Samuel Hargrove, the town's blacksmith, claimed to have seen strange lights hovering over his barn one night. He described them as orbs of fire that moved silently, casting eerie shadows across the fields. No one believed him, until more strange occurrences followed. One night, 12-year-old Clara Thompson was awoken by a faint hum. Peeking out of her bedroom window, she saw shadowy figures moving through the cornfields, illuminated by the faint blue glow of the comet. These figures were unnaturally tall, with spindly limbs and heads that shimmered as if made of liquid metal. They moved as though they were searching for something. Clara's screams brought her parents running, but when they looked out the window, the figures were gone. Only the trampled corn and the faint smell of ozone remained. The Thompsons reported the incident to Sheriff Everett, who dismissed it as a child's nightmare, but Clara wasn't the only one who had seen them. By mid-May, people began disappearing. The first was Nathan Grady, a recluse who lived on the outskirts of town. His cabin was found abandoned, with the door ripped clean off its hinges. Inside, the air was thick with an acrid metallic smell. Soon after, the Baker family vanished from their farmhouse, leaving dinner half-eaten on the table. Panic spread through Meadowridge. Families huddled together at night, locking doors and windows. But the disappearances continued. Witnesses reported seeing beams of light descend from the sky, lifting people into the air before vanishing into the darkness. Samuel Hargrove and a group of townsfolk decided to investigate the fields where the lights were most often seen. There they discovered a strange metallic object half buried in the soil. It was smooth and cold to the touch, humming faintly. When Samuel struck it with his hammer, the artifact emitted a high-pitched sound, and everyone present experienced sudden, vivid visions. Earth seen from above, strange constellations, and images of massive machines harvesting entire planets. The group hurried back to town, but when they returned the next day, the artifact was gone. In its place was a circle of scorched earth and a strange, blackened residue. On June 2nd, 1910, Halley's Comet reached its closest point to Earth. That night, the entire town of Meadowridge vanished. A travelling merchant passing through found the place eerily deserted the next morning. Buildings stood intact, but there was no sign of life, not even the stray dogs that had roamed the streets. The fields were untouched, yet every house was empty. The merchant reported the incident to nearby towns, sparking a flurry of investigations. Officials blamed the disappearances on a combination of plague and mass hysteria, but no bodies were ever found. The only clue was a single patch of scorched earth in the town square, where the ground was fused into glass. Decades later, in 1986, during another visit from Halley's Comet, a team of amateur astronomers detected an unusual signal emanating from deep space. It was faint, but unmistakably artificial, repeating in intervals of 76 years. The same cycle as the comet. Some theorized it was a message from extraterrestrials, a warning or perhaps a beacon. Though Meadowridge was long forgotten, its mystery remained. What had the beings taken from the town and why? Were they studying humanity or harvesting something deeper, something we didn't yet understand? As Halley's Comet continues its journey through the cosmos, one question lingers: will they return?